temporary resident permits in Canada. So first of all, what is a temporary resident permit? There are times when a person who is not a Canadian needs to come into Canada, but can't because of a number of different reasons. In the event that a person can't come into Canada legally, but needs to, then it's an application for a temporary resident permit to allow them entry into the country. Now, why would they be denied the ability to enter Canada? Maybe they have a medical condition, or maybe they had a misrepresentation on a prior entry to Canada. Maybe they have some criminal history that hasn't been resolved, or a technical issue such as a expired passport. Or maybe you were in the country studying, got caught when you weren't supposed to be here, and then you've been kicked out of the country. Now, in order to gain access to Canada during this time, you have to get this special permit to allow you entry. Otherwise, you are banned. And the eligibility for a temporary resident permit is going to entirely depend on the circumstances surrounding why you're not eligible to come into Canada. For instance, if you are a convicted murderer a year ago, then the eligibility requirements are going to be vastly different. In fact, you're probably not even free to come into Canada, but they're going to be different than if you had a minor conviction or an expired passport or something along those lines. Now, the reason why people need them, why do they have to come into Canada when they're not eligible to get and need this temporary resident permit? Well, maybe they're just coming here for work or to study for a short period of time. Maybe they're here for a longer course or work courses and need to come as part of their job requirements. Sometimes it involves transportation. So if someone is taking a cruise out of Vancouver and is flying into Canada for that cruise from the United States, then even though the cruise is going off into the ocean, they still are spending time in Canada. Sometimes the permits are more of a sick family situation where someone has passed away, or you have a sick family member and you're coming to Canada to look after them, or you want to, or if someone has passed, to attend their funeral. Now, how long you can get a temporary resident permit for really depends on the situation and your specifics, but the maximum they're allowed to give you is up to 3 years, and if you extend past that, you can get yourself into trouble, so make sure you follow the rules that is granted to you in your temporary resident permit, or getting one in the future is not going to be likely. Now, in terms of process time, if you just show up at a port of entry, so like at an airport or border crossing, and apply for it on an emergency basis, then it's usually only a couple hours, but you risk not getting access. So the immigration person at the border crossing could deny your request of a temporary resident permit. Otherwise, if you go through a lawyer to get it, it can take up to 6 months to secure it, but then you know, and if you do it in advance for your travel, then you're able to do so with confidence that you're allowed to entry into Canada. Make sure you don't get stuck or waste money at a border because you haven't thought ahead. If you have questions, make sure you reach out. And remember, everybody's situation is a little different, and that will change the nature of your application as well as the results.